Cool. So, yeah. Um, this call is going to be recorded for the ones that is not able to join us tonight. So I'm just gonna share my screen. Good evening, Raima. Thank you for joining.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello,
So,
Raime.
Hello, hello, Indra.
How are you tonight, my friend?
I'm well,
um,
thank you, yourself.
That's it, that's it.
Raima,
Ready for the week.
yes, yes, yes. Yes,
Ready
actually,
to
it's
make
actually
money.
two Hendrix now. There's a Hendrix Senior and a Hendrix Junior. So when you're talking, you're more familiar with Senior. So when you're talking, just you know, when you're talking to the Hendrix that you know, then just say Senior. Otherwise, they're gonna be confusing the other one.
All right, all right.
Um, I actually um in the week I shifted back to my old platform to Hot Forex because yeah, I just went through something where I was like saying to myself like, yo, this is not me. The way I've been trading for the past 2 3 months, not even three past 2 months, is just not me. So when I came to Hot Forex, I saw that I actually missed out a whole lot of stuff. But I'm back there now. I should never have changed platforms. So let's jump into it. So this is what I am seeing here for GBP USD.
Mhm.
Get the support here. How? Uh, okay, so after making the first low here, support was offered again. So with price coming here once more, I'm of the thinking that let me just check something. Okay, no, I do not have that. So I am really thinking that this is what's gonna happen. I might be wrong with the amount of repetitions and retests or something like that, but I really do believe that this is what's gonna happen because um, after breaking this high point, price just offered support to it over here, and you can see that this is a area where price acted um, around it or reacted around it, and you could see that over here price pushed down to it when it came close by it. Price pushed down here as well when it touched it, and then as soon as it broke out, it played its role as support for 1 2 3 4 times. So this tells me that this is a very strong area, right? So now it broke, false confirmation with a rejection. You can call that the first try because we have a solid breakout over here. And then, yeah, the retest go down, but not all the way fully till here. And this is actually what I was looking at, the area that I was looking at. and then it went up to retest it again, and it's here now. So it might actually just happen that price goes up once more and drops, or it does this way, it zigzags for a bit and then fall. But because it's below this area now, I am expecting price to drop a bit, and yeah, I am expecting like what you're seeing with USD right now, and damn, I can kick myself. Um, but what you're seeing with USD now is basically the dollar losing steam, and the pound isn't doing that great either, seeing that it is right now entering its second month into the Brexit transition period. So only after the transition period do we have more clarity about where we see the pound going. Um, so on the 4 hour time frame, as you can see, this decline is really steep. It's not actually giving us anything to analyze from. So for me, I would personally just wait until price gets still here, and then when it gets here, that is when I will start analyzing for the fall back down. Okay, so are we clear on GBP USD?
Yes, mine is a bit different, but at the end of the day, it goes to the down to the same area, maybe a bit lower.
Yeah. So if it was gonna go lower, then that would be the next area that it would drop to, but not missing out this one as well, because here we have a low, we have support over,
Yeah, yes,
and we have a rejection over there. This is a really strong area for price to come down and drop to, and that possibility. So um, USDJPY, wow, that's all I can say. Wow, because I was expecting the move down, right? But what I was expecting, um, I was expecting something more like this. So same conclusion, just different analysis. Okay, so you guys know that this was my previous analysis. These two over here, the structure over there. Um, but when I after I saw this, and did what I did with these two lines now by copying this line running at the top here, that's rejecting so nicely here on this level. That is when I actually got that rejection and saw that that was actually the valid and the real analysis. So at this point in time, this is what I was waiting for. Our price was up there. I was waiting for it to come back in, to go up and retest there and then fall. But now that I have the bigger picture, and this is just how amazing knowing where price is gonna go to, how it can be. So obviously this is a support, right? It has supported price once, twice, three times, four times, five times, six times. Right? Price is here once again. It didn't close below it. Although the next support, which is this area over here, although the next support, it is exposed due to this. It is exposed due to this. So, and the support was exposed here already, and just check price is making its return. Um, Price closing within this bar, within this zone, and not closing below it, price closing within it, makes me believe that price is gonna run back up. And I bet an experienced trader could see this, but um, this is actually head and shoulders that I'm looking at right now. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So for me, with price being, why did I just draw two lines? Yo, I'm so stupid. So um, with price being on this support, right? I'm just, and you know, we all know for a fact that whenever price breaks out, right, of a big zone, um, price has to go up to retest it. And I'm really believing that price will either find confluence over there or it will have another spike similar to this where it just like runs up, grazes there for a bit, and then come down. Now, on its way down, because this area is exposed and because price broke out of this already, on its way down, this is going to be our take profit one, this is going to be our take profit two, stop loss on entry, stop loss on take profit one, as the trade develops, and then this will be our third and final take profit level, but that is gonna take real big patience. Yeah, just have patience. Just have patience. I think with the experience on Euro USD this week, where I just butted out of it, it shows you how it shows you how vulnerable your trades become when your mental game um, is not on par, right? So what happened with Euro USD is you guys saw that I gave the buy, right, and then a candle or two closed below um, below the gapping area, right? And then that just made me believe that price was gonna run down further. Now notice this is just that was just like extreme paranoia. I don't even know where the hell it came from, but that is just extreme paranoia because price didn't even drop like it didn't even drop like with 100 pip difference to my stop loss. You know, that was just paranoia, a really stupid move on my behalf, and one that I wish you guys would really learn from. Um, so yeah, let's just get back to Euro USD quickly. So as you guys can see, it's at a it's at the support right now. And for me, just the fact that it closed above the support, just the fact that it closed above the support, that says a lot. That tells me that price is gonna go all the way till there. But where my mistake came in was when I sent. So this was the signal that I sent in the week. You guys remember that one?
Yep.
So stop losses was below here, right? And this is most now the area where price um, gapped on Monday. So because price closed below this point, I was of the thinking that price is just gonna continue dropping. So I didn't pay attention to any of these candles, which actually shows some strong rejection towards the upside. But yeah, that is what I thought. It was a really stupid move. My stop losses was below here, so it wasn't even close to my stop losses. And congratulations to those guys who kept it open, who was a bit busy and time made it so that while we had losses, they couldn't look at this stuff. Congratulations for y'all keeping it open because right now you should be holding a 1,630 pip trade. It is crazy, right? So please let it be a lesson for you guys out of my stupidity. I mean, that is what I'm for. If I can give you a lesson on how not to lose, then I feel that a lesson like this is really fitting as well, because there's a lot of things that goes on mentally that just makes you climb out of stuff, and then you see that if you weren't like um, in in colored culture we have a term for it. It's called opet. If I weren't like opet too much, like staring at it and watching it, just being opet too much. If I wasn't opet too much, then um, uh, I wouldn't actually gotten out of that trade. So just pay attention to that. And then another thing that I also want to bring to your attention is manual movements of stop losses. So if you do not trust a a, a trail stop, and rightfully so, I will not blame you for that. If you do not trust a trail stop, then this would work a equivalent for you. So at first, our stop losses would have been in this area, right? So we bought, we have the drop, we have a rise, a new high was created, a new higher low was created. We have a bit of a false breakout, but it's also a sign that the next area got exposed. This high got falsely broken as well. But what you should notice here is that price kept above this area. So now you have an established zone. So as soon as price moved away from it, this is what you as a manual stop loss mover should have done. You could have had it there with your entry being over there. And then I guess it all basically just comes down to patience, because then your trade, your risk would have gone all the way from 600 and something to 120, right? So now, as it runs up, it created a new low. As a manual stop loss mover, that is what you do. This is your support area, and you guys know why we just have our stop loss below our support. So now you have 800 pips that's secured, you know. So that is one thing that I would advise you guys to do, or one way that I advise you guys to look at moving your stop losses manually. And then the target for Euro USD is almost reached, and I'm sure by now you guys know the bias when we get here. I'm sure you guys know it. And just by the look of it, if I had to zoom out,